Hello and welcome to Congo 2020, Congo Mission Network 2020. My name is Jimmy Shave. I'm a Congo missionary kid and do a bit of part-time work in support of the various Presbyterian organizations at work in the Congo. Our Congo Mission Network 2020 conference is going to be virtual this year, and the purpose of this presentation is to give you information about the various parts of the network, who we are, how we work, and the partners we work with in the Congo. For starters, by the way, this presentation is going to be on the Congo Mission Network 2020 website and our congopartners.org website. So you'll be able to go through at your own pace and click on any of the links and explore as much as you wish. There are maps, there's detailed information about many of the organizations. It'll be fun. For starters, let's explore the religious composition of the country. Approximately 50% of the population are Roman Catholic, 35% Protestant, including evangelicals, and 5% Kimbanguist, 5% Muslim. The Congo, in terms of a footprint we're all familiar with, the country is about the size of the United States east of the Mississippi. So you can see from this map, it's quite a large country. From a historical perspective, with just a little bit of detail, but not too much, in 1885, the Berlin Conference gave the Congo as a personal concession to King Leopold of Belgium. He convinced the world that he was a great humanitarian, when in fact, he was using forced labor and committing incredible atrocities. Presbyterian missionaries protested, Presbyterian missionaries testified, and Presbyterian missionaries helped bring an end to his rule. In 1908, the country of Belgium took over the colony, and they denounced the atrocities. However, they did not do very much to promote education, certainly not higher education. So that by 1960, when the country declared independence, there were only a handful of college graduates who were Congolese in the country. The West at that time feared Soviet influence. Prime Minister Lumumba was elected. Then Prime Minister Lumumba was assassinated. Mobutu was backed and put in power, and his rule lasted for 32 years. There's encouragement now and much hope with President Tshisekedi that the church will be more respected and have a greater say, that the people will be treated better, and the government will be a far more effective government. This nighttime view kind of gives you a perspective of the development level of Africa in general and Congo particularly. If you look at Europe, you see all the nighttime glow from the lights and the electricity. On the other hand, go down to Central Africa and you can see the map points to Kinshasa. There is a light, you can tell where the city is. And in Lubumbashi area, there's a little bit of light, you can see where the cities are. Otherwise, the Congo is dark. And this is a place where 90 million people live. In fact, if you look at the top line under demographics, Congo is expected to hit 200 million by 2050. So that population is going to more than double in the next 30 years. 52% of the population is under 18 years old. 3/4 of them live on $1.90 a day. There are 5+ million internally displaced persons as of May 2020, and that is 10%. 10% of the world population of internally displaced persons. 2/3 of the schools are run by the churches, even though they may be public or government schools, they're run by the churches. There's only a 66% completion rate when you go as high as secondary school. From health standpoint, there's 9% mortality rate for children under 5 years old. And amazingly, that's an improvement because it was at 16+% in the year 2000. And the Congo has the 3rd highest rate in the world in terms of lifetime risk of maternal death with a 1 in 34 chance. The church in Congo is organized as the ECC. There are 62 Protestant denominations under this single umbrella. And that single umbrella is the one that coordinates with the government on schools and operations like that. The church communities or denominations are referred to by their identifying number. For example, the 31st CPC and 32nd CPK happen to be our Congo Presbyterian Church and our Congo Presbyterian Church of Kinshasa. And that means they're the 31st and the 32nd of those 62 denominations. As far as the Presbyterian work in the Congo, those two denominations look like this. The Kinshasa Church operates, obviously headquartered by the name would suggest, out of Kinshasa. The darker pink area represents the area where the church is more established, and the lighter pink where it is expanding and growing. Then the CPC operates out of Kananga. And again, the darker green indicates the area where the church is more established, and the lighter green where the church is expanding. The organization chart would look like this, with the ECC at the top, Presbyterian Community of Congo, or CPC, on one side, CPK on the other. Those both report under the ECC. Then you've got the Shepherd and Lapsley Presbyterian University of Congo, which is UPRECO, that's near Kananga. You've got the Congo Protestant University, UPC, which is located in Kinshasa. And as you can see, both denominations help support those two universities. The Christian Medical Institute of Kasai, which you will hear us most often refer to as IMCK, is a medical training school, a nursing school, lab tech school, and hospitals. That's outside of Kananga, and a clinic in Kananga. And then you've got the program for the development of Kasai, PRODEC. Both of those, IMCK and PRODEC, work through and under the 31st CPC. So how is that church organized? On the bottom right of your screen, you see a photograph of Reverend Chidinda. Reverend Chidinda is the General Secretary, an elected position, is the senior position, senior executive in charge of the church. There are 12 synods, 43 presbyteries, 926 plus or minus congregations, and there are prayer cells and new church development happening all the time. There are 868 schools. Now note, those are government schools, but the CPC operates those schools. There are 11 hospitals. There are departments for evangelism and church life, women and families, and coordination for community development, as well as other smaller departments. If you were to look at it on a map, it looks like this. The CPC primarily is in the area where the historical Presbyterian mission stations were located. And on this map, each of these mission stations, from Bulape in the north to Moma in the south, Mboy to the east, or west rather, and Bibanga to the east, all of those are links. So you could go to one of those links, click on it, it will take you to a Google Earth or a Google Map satellite view of that particular mission station. You can zoom in or zoom out and explore as much as you want. And just because I could, I put Lake Munkamba on there. There was never a mission station there, but boy, if you grew up in Congo, you knew about Lake Munkamba and enjoyed going there for vacations. The CPK is organized in exactly the same way, with the elected positions and executive committee at the top. The senior official is president and legal representative, Reverend Isaac Kalonji Mukendi. There are 4 synods, 15 presbyteries, 215 congregations, and again, prayer cells and new churches are being developed all the time. There are 350 of those government schools that the CPK operates. There are 7 health centers, and then there are departments for evangelism, women and families, Christian education, and youth. How do we work? Well, certainly we work better when we work together. When everything comes together right, it kind of looks like this. You've got a Venn diagram with the global partners, then the churches, presbyteries, various individuals and NGOs and support groups, and the Presbyterian World Mission as an organization. And when it all comes together right, we hit that sweet spot right in the middle of that diagram where we're able to support each other fully and do the best work possible for the Congo brothers and sisters that we have there. There are a number of support groups and NGOs engaged, as well as presbyteries. Those include IMA World Health, Medical Benevolence Foundation, the Outreach Foundation, Congo Leadership Initiative, which is the one I'm a part of, the work that we used to do under the label of Mission Hope Congo. We've now joined forces with Congo Leadership Initiative, Congo Helping Hands, Friends of IMCK, and Woman Cradle of Abundance, or FIBA. We also have presbyteries that have strong relationships in Congo. PIVA, or Presbytery of Eastern Virginia, Newcastle Presbytery in Delaware, Shepherds and Lapsley out of Alabama, and Whitewater Valley Presbytery in Indiana. Whitewater does not happen to have a dedicated page to their Congo work, so that's why there's no link here. But do note that all those others are linked, so you can go there and explore the relationship and what those organizations are about. There are PCUSA entities that we draw on support from and that are heavily involved and guide the work there. Within the Presbyterian Church USA, you've got the Presbyterian Mission Agency over on the one side, and then on the other, congregations and presbyteries. Presbyterian women fit in there. And within the PMA, or Presbyterian Mission Organization, you've got World Mission, Compassion, Peace, and Justice, United Nations Mission, Disaster Assistance, Hunger Program, and an Office of Public Witness. Our co-workers that are in Congo, let's run through those. Inge and Larry Sthreshley. Larry serves as country director for the Interchurch Medical Assistance, or IMA World Health as it's known. He works with more than 200 or 300 health zones in Congo, has been instrumental in combating Ebola, and lately, certainly, as they're dealing with the COVID epidemic or pandemic in Congo. Inge also works with IMA, and her focus is on nutrition, home gardens, and fuel-efficient cooking stoves. Christi and Jeff Boyd are based in Kinshasa, as are Larry and Inge. Christi works with churches in Congo, Madagascar, Niger, Rwanda, and South Sudan. Her focus is on the interest of women and children. Jeff is the liaison for the Presbyterian Church USA in Central Africa. So as you can tell, their work and their responsibilities go far beyond the borders of the Congo. José LaMont Jones and his wife Eveline are the two newest of this team, and they're not really in Congo yet due to COVID-19 travel restrictions. José will be the CPK educational consultant and work and development support and implementation, strengthening the CPK education programs. He'll do this by accompanying partners, learning from their experiences and their context, to purposefully engage them in sustainable initiatives, all working toward moving the schools and the education system further along the path toward excellence. Debbie Braaksma and Paula Tibbs are based out of Louisville at church headquarters. Debbie's the coordinator for Presbyterian World Mission work in all of Africa, and Paula is the mission specialist for Africa who works with Debbie in the administration of our programs there. Doug Tilton is the PCUSA liaison for Southern Africa, and he has responsibilities for advocacy work in Africa, so Congo becomes a part of his portfolio. In terms of advocacy on behalf of Congo, there are also organizations. There's Presbyterian Ministry at the United Nations, a Presbyterian Office for Public Witness that is right across the street from the Supreme Court in Washington, and our Congo Mission Network. Pictured at the bottom left here, you can see Senator Chris Coons as he came to one of our CMN meetings to listen so that our concerns for Congo have become his concerns for Congo. CMN, as an organization, we certainly come together, support each other, nurture each other, and we are better when we can come together. This year, we're doing this virtually, and we're spanning 10 or 11 or 12 hours worth of time zones from California to Eastern Congo. But when we're together, we have meaningful worship. We have idea sharing and brainstorming. We have nurturing of each other, and it is simply a wonderful time to be together. We would love for you to consider in future years joining us in person. The 2021 meeting is planned for Charlotte, North Carolina, and we would love to see you there. How is CMN organized? Well, every year when we come together, we have conveners or co-conveners. This year, that's Ann Crane and Bill Reinhold. You can put a name with a face here, or a face with a name, however you want to say it. Our team for advocacy is led by Roberta Spalding from California. Ann, by the way, is from Boston, and Bill from Virginia. Our education team is led by Jan Sullivan from Chicago and Ann Crane doing double duty. Healthcare needs, or that effort, is led by Bill Rule from Maryland. And the concerns for women and children are lifted up by Kathy Coons from North Carolina. This is a leadership team that are dependable. You could go to at their email and ask them questions. They may not know an answer, but they'll get you an answer. In terms of collaboration, our church partners certainly welcome collaboration in many areas, but among those would be education, teacher training, health ministries, children's programs, congregational twinning activities, healthcare, Bible and hymn book subsidies, humanitarian relief, and community development. All of these are critical needs in Congo, and we need your help to work on it. There is a process, of course, for giving, and it takes resources to make programs happen. There's a way to donate to the Presbyterian Church, of course, with a check or online. It would be important, if you're doing that, to enter the ECO number that is on the next slide. And it's smart, as you can see on the bottom of this slide, to send an email to Jeff Boyd or Paula Tibbs and perhaps another mission coworker, and let them know if the program is dedicated to that coworker. Let them know that your gift is coming and what your intent with it is. Now, here are the account numbers. You've got 10 seconds to memorize them. 9, 8, 7. Okay, I know you can't do that. So remember, this show is on the CMN website and CongoPartners.org website, so you can go there and find these account numbers as you need them. The partners in Congo specifically that we interact with on a regular basis. This is IMCK that I mentioned earlier. It's governed by a board of the Congo Presbyterian Church, the Mennonites, and PCUSA. The main campus is in Chikaji, and notice that is linked on your screen. The director, Dr. Serge Mokolo Kazadi, is a wonderful gentleman to deal with. There's nursing schools, 2 of them, LPN and RN. Good Shepherd Hospital is there on Chikaji campus with 120 plus beds. And there's also PAX Clinic in Kananga that has a completely rehabilitated new maternity facility. There's a link here for Friends of IMCK for more information about the programs that are there. And I should call attention to the fact that right now there's a need for a volunteer hydroelectric technician to keep that electricity working well for the mission station and hospital. UPRECO is the university that I mentioned earlier near Kananga. It's governed jointly by a board of CPC and CPK members. The rector or president is Dr. Simone Kabwe Mbala, and wonderful gentleman to deal with, extremely intelligent. They've got faculties of theology, law, ag sciences, IT, and economics, and offer both bachelor's and master's degrees programs. The fees, the tuition is only $270 to $395 a year, and we look at that and think, how could they do that? Remember, That's about 50% of the annual income for someone in Congo. Links are on the bottom of the screen there for your Preco, as well as an email address for the university. UPC, or Congo Protestant University, is in Kinshasa. The link here will zoom you right in on the campus in the city of Kinshasa. Presbyterians were active in starting this university back in 1959, along with the British Baptists, the American Baptists, Disciples of Christ, Methodists, and soon after, the Mennonites joined as this university got established. It was in Kisangani, or what was Stanleyville. It had to move to Kinshasa, back to Stanleyville. Why? Due to rebel activity. There were times when faculty and staff were taken hostage, but the university has survived. The university has thrived. It now has over 8,000 students. It's recognized for quality education. The faculties include business and economics, law, medicine, theology, and information technology. CPC and CPK have seats on the board that runs the university. And educationcongo.org is the North American liaison organization that raises scholarship dollars and support for the university, as well as another university in Bukavu in Congo. Improka in Kananga is kind of the CPC business operation, if you will, and printing operation. They've been printing Christian educational materials for 100 years. It's directed by Elder Simon Ntumba Chitengi. They've got offset equipment that's 100 years old, and they've got digital press and binding equipment that has been purchased within the last 12 months. Improka also manages various projects like palm and pineapple plantations that serve as business operations for the church to help support other ministries. PRODEC, that I mentioned earlier, has a focus on community development, farming methods, improved seed varieties, and water projects. They've even got a loan program to help people get bicycles. Their income-generating palm projects also help fund other ministries of the church. There are a number of Presbyterian publications that you can go to the link on the bottom of this slide. You could subscribe to one or all of these and keep up with what Presbyterians are doing in our world today. CMN 2020. We'd love to have you there. It's a virtual conference this year, as I said, but the work in Congo is vital. And Presbyterians have worked alongside our Congolese brethren since 1890. That's 130 years of engagement. CMN 2020 is going to educate, it's going to inform, it's going to inspire as ideas are shared and great presentations are shared. The program shapes up like this. On September 16th is the first session with an opening worship focusing on the Belhar Confession. Now that starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time, because remember, we're dealing with time zones from California to the eastern part of Congo. The next sessions, October, November, there will be 2 sessions each month, about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Focus in October is on healthcare in the time of COVID. November focuses on racism and ethnic conflict. And then we're taking a break for December. You're coming back in January, February, and March with 2 sessions each month. So what has been a full, jam-packed 2.5-day conference is now going to be several short meetings, all virtual. We want you with us. CMN 2020. Please join us. I think you'll be glad you did.